Second question, when does parents get notified of, like, how soon do you have teacher placements?
What we did this summer... You want to know for your child? Traditionally, it's sent out during the summer. Okay. I think it's been different things at different times. It would be that with kindergarten, my first year, it was on the report card, so... Okay, that's what I was wondering, whether it's... And that really kind of put a damper on the end of the year kind of festivities, because it was just ripping out the report cards to see who else was in the class and that kind of thing. They've been mailed home. Because you do have play groups during the summer for the kids at the entering K to get together at different times throughout the summer. So this past year, we didn't have the class list posted outside or have them posted that way just because of confidentiality. We were kind of questioning if that was a good idea to do. So it was a play group, but more of just everyone get together. Come and meet other kids that will be in kindergarten. Okay. So we did it that way the last summer just to kind of make sure that we were doing all the safety things we needed to.
And my hope is eventually we can do this electronically so parents can go in and check it out so we don't have to mail anything.
So get your email addresses out.
Yes. Ding, 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 ding.
We can send the BMIs that way too.
We can do everything that way. We're slowly moving there.
Mr. Bernard?
I'm good, thank you.
I do have one question, if I may. Number of classrooms in the elementary school. We went from 5 to 6 in kindergarten. What's the changes at the elementary school?
At the elementary school, there will be 5 first grades, 5 second grades, 6 third grades, and 5 fourth grades. Our 4th grade class will be incredibly large. With this year, we have 6 third grades and 6 fourth grades, because the class at the 4th grade level this year is a large class. We are sending a teacher over with them. I've made the decision based on input from other staff members, as well as just looking at my data and the things in the building, that we really need to have 6 third grade teachers. The second graders that are our current second graders have a lot of very unique needs, and I need to add another class in. Currently, they're at 27 kids in a class in second grade, but putting in 26.6, putting in another teacher for that particular group will bring it down to 22.2 or 22.4, in the 22s for next year. So,
and 4th grade will be at around 28.
It'll be about 28 students in a classroom.
So there is a slight difference in the number of students in second going to third, third going to fourth, with the fourth being a slightly larger class by a few kids.
Just a couple of kids larger.
But
the
dynamics of the second grade would lead us to believe that if we have an extra teacher for those 2 grade levels, it'd be better to put it into third next year. So leaving 6 in third grade and then letting 4th become a 5.
We don't have extra teachers. We're just replacing
no,
teachers.
It's just,
okay.
it's
just
just
want people to
where do we
extra
put
teachers
them?
That we're just,
right, no, we don't have extra teachers. I'm just saying that keeping the teachers we have.
Sending one to the
we send one to the middle school because that class is even bigger, the 4th going into 5th. So the middle school will need an additional staff coming from the elementary school, or a position coming from the elementary school. But, in looking at what's left at the elementary school, where do we put that one teacher that would make a group of 6? Where do we put it? And I think we've had this discussion, and I just wanted you to mention that. So that if people say, hey, there's 2 more kids in 4th grade, why did you put the teacher in second? That's the reason why. Okay.
Neither one is a very good choice of who not to give the 6th teacher to, but I really, in my professional opinion, it needs to be the 3rd grade.
So 3rd grade is going to have 6 classes? 6. And 5 for 4th?
Yes.
And then middle school, 5th is going to have?
A group of 6.
6.
Because they had 6, it's going to be a group of 6. And depending on what we do with the budget, 6th, 7th, and 8th will look a little different if we can manage to maintain the language-based money inside the budget.
And with that staffing level, in some of the classes, we're at the 28 student level, which starts to become an issue.
Absolutely.
Okay. Well, thank you. I had a few questions on the presentation. starting with the preschool placement. The first choice, I noticed in the enrollment form, is a first choice, second choice. Is there one choice that's more preferable that seems to be?
Our most popular seems to be our Monday, Wednesday, Friday morning.
Okay. And how do we, if we have more choices than we have slots on the first pass, people fill out the enrollment form, and we have, I don't know how many slots we have on that Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, but if we have 10 extras that have filled it out on the first registration, how do we select? Is it a lottery system?
It's by when they send it in, so they're numbered from there. We do the kids that are returning first, so we give them their first choice. If they've been in preschool as 3-year-olds, they're returning as 4-year-olds. They have their first choice, and then it's by when they come in and line up for registration, they sign in, so they have a number when they sign in.
So new students arrive for registration, but unbeknownst to them, if they get there early, they might have gotten their first choice. I'm just wondering if we might consider some type of lottery if
I think we could
60
certainly look at that
students.
for another time. I think one of the things that we need to look at for this year is that we only have 2 preschool teachers as opposed to 3. So we would have an additional 15 slots for that Monday, Wednesday, Friday if we had another teacher. So I think that's part of the dynamic this year as well, is that we only have 2 teachers instead of 3. So we're losing 45 slots for preschool by doing that.
Okay. And if I understand, I think the question was answered. The out-of-district students, even if they were enrolled last year, do they maintain their same teacher regardless?
That's what Julie clarified. They have to wait again as well.
So they might get knocked off their
Westport.
first choice.
Yes.
Now, if we maximize with Westport students and don't have any
Then there's
seats,
no opening
even if they were
for
here
out-of-district
last year.
kids. Yeah.
Okay, that was the other part I was wondering. Okay. I wondered on kindergarten placement, we talked about some of the other options for early education, early childhood education, some of the private schools. Is there some students that arrive in kindergarten and maybe have been at-home schooling, haven't been exposed to learning before kindergarten?
Yep. Usually it's about half and half. About 50% of our kids traditionally come to our preschool, and then 50% don't. Some of those children have gone to Westport Country Day or Cottonmouth or a private daycare center. Some have done nothing.
Right. I'm wondering what's the percentage of students that haven't been exposed to a structured learning environment?
We take that data every year. It's small. It's not a large. I want to say like 16-18% haven't had anything. It's not a huge
And they catch up pretty quickly?
We always say there are 2 requirements to come to kindergarten. You have to be 5 and you have to be breathing. That's it.
I should start all over.
That's all
That's 3 requirements.
Live in Westport. But no, that's the teachers have that understanding of kids coming in at all different levels.
I guess the only other question I have, this grouping of students with the current class through elementary certainly seems to make sense to me. But as you are preparing the student for, what do you call it, stepping up? What is that the?
Promotion.
Yeah, I know there's kind of a pretty big celebration when it's time for the students to leave elementary and move up to middle school. At the middle school level, is there determination on abilities at some point in terms of what houses they're assigned to or groups that they're with? Do we do track programs at all?
No tracking, but we do pay attention to the needs of the special ed students. If for no other reason that we have some limited amount of resources, so how do you best